Okay, so now we're back and you can see that I have my Android Studio here back, so but still nothing. Okay, so now if we go ahead and start something, oh look at that. Right away, notice that we now have we now have our emulator working properly if we run, which is something that wasn't happening before, right? This is wonderful. So now we can actually try to run our app, our Flutter app here, and we should be able to do that because we just solved our problem. And look at that. Look at that. Oh my goodness. And now we have our app running on our emulator on our Windows, which wasn't able to do that, this virtualization before. And now it does because we fixed it in our BIOS. Ah, wonderful. Congratulations. This is real good news. Now remember that those steps need to be followed as I explained before, and please use the steps or the instructions that we find in our Flutter.io for Windows. That is very, very important, okay? Very good. So there we go. So we can tap here and everything is running great. No problems at all. Go ahead and stop it. And for now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that we can install other missing SDK platforms packages here for Android, okay? And all API levels. Again, this is not something that is required per se, but it's always a good idea to at least have from 4.4 or 4.3 up to the latest one. So right now we have Android API 28, which is installed. We have Android 8, which is Oreo, which is also says partially installed. And we can click here to show package details, right? So you can see what exactly is installed inside of each package. That's very handy as well. So you can, if they're not clicked, you can actually tick there to select all of them. Okay, and if that's the case, it's not installed, you can notice that you will have an option to apply all, and be able to install everything. So it's always a good idea to come to this page here, to this screen, and verify that you indeed have everything set up for you. So now we have everything set up, folks, in our Android Studio here, which is awesome. Which also means now that we have it all set up on Android Studio, so we have the SDK, the Android SDK, we have the emulators, everything created and working, it will be easy for us to revert to IntelliJ, which is the tool that I'm going to be using. You can choose to use this one here. Revert back and do all the things that we want, which is to create applications with IntelliJ and so forth. Again, it's an option. You can do as you see fit. Let's go to Configure Editor here. And again, we have a lot of options. We have the Android Studio, which we've installed. Everything is set up. But you can also use VS Code, another IDE you are more than welcome to use. But for me, like I said, I am going to use the IntelliJ IDEA, which is the other IDE that is used for developing apps. Okay. We're going to do the community one, so click that one there. And once you're here, we want for Windows, obviously, that should be selected. And then we're going to use the community, not the ultimate, because we don't want to pay for it. Let me go there. Let me just click download, and it should start the download process right away. There we go. It may take a little bit, but we should be able to get there. If you wish, you can, of course, add to the email list and everything. Okay, it's done. Just click on that, and we'll start our installation process. Let's click next. You can change the destination folder if you wish to do so. I'll keep saying next here. And you can pick something for the installer. Just gonna keep going, say install. All right, so it's all installed. Let's go ahead and take that community edition run there, say finish, and we should be able to see this window here. I don't have any other settings. I'm just gonna say do not import settings. And if you already have other settings, just click the custom. In this case, I'm just gonna say okay, and make sure that you read everything, scroll down and just hit accept. This is all data sharing. I say don't send. I probably should say send. All right, so here we are. I'm gonna use the dark color because I like the dark color. It's supposedly good for your eyes, so I'm gonna keep with that one. And you can use IntelliJ, the lighter version, if you wish to do so, but I will keep with dark color. Go ahead and say next. And there we go. There's a few things that if you wish to install, we could do. Just gonna say next, next, and there we go. Perfect. So now it's gonna install everything. And what we need to do next is go to configure, and we want to go to plugins because we need to again install our plugins, our Flutter plugins, so we can start developing things. So just exactly what we did with Android Studio. Okay, but I have to go to browse repositories. Tricky there. Okay, click on browse repositories and Flutter, and you can see we can install Flutter. Of course, we have to accept because we are adding a new plugin here, third-party plugin, and we also have to install another dependency, which is Dart, because that is indeed needed as well, right, with Flutter. So I'm going to go ahead and accept that as well. Okay, it's going to install Dart, and we will have to restart our IntelliJ in order to actually be able to see everything. Say okay, restart. It's restarting. I'm going to create a new project, and notice the moment we do that, we're going to have Flutter there. If we click on Flutter and Dart, so click on Flutter, and it has the path already set up for us. This is very awesome. I'm going to say next, and we can give a title to our project. Doesn't matter what exactly, just put something there with underscore, of course, and with an underscore, and anything else, it's totally fine. We don't care. We just want to get this to work. The domain name, organization, just put whatever at this point, say finish, and it should create our Flutter project. So what we're trying to do here is to see if indeed everything is connected, and we can create a project, and then the project can actually run using the emulator that we created. That's all we're trying to do here. It should all work fine. In this case here, I'm just gonna untick that on selected it because I don't want to get anything. Close. Doing its thing in the background, indexing stuff. And you notice at the top, we already have that Android SDK built for x86. This is good. It means it connected directly with our emulator in SDK, Android SDK. If we just click run, look at that. It's initializing Gradle. Everything is looking great. And if all goes well, we should see the app, the test app also running from our IntelliJ project. Oh my goodness, there we go. Now we can go ahead and click again there, +1, 2, and so forth. This is wonderful. Congratulations, and now we are ready to start creating Flutter applications, my friend. And thank you. I'll see you next.